The trade deadline, speaking of which, because we're on that subject, the trade deadline is a freaking week away. I mean, we're already there. The trade deadline's here. Dodgers are the best team of baseball. They have the best players to match up with anybody. Dave Roberts has already said several times, like, I mean, I really like the product that we have out there right now. I mean, obviously, those guys are always talking about Friedman. It's like they're always going to be looking to kick the tires on people and possible upgrades. But I like what we have.
They have the best players. The Dodgers have the best players. If we're playing a 28-man roster, then we have best players 35 deep. But the problem is, will they use them? And that's been the problem for the last few years. Shout out to NLDS Kershaw last year. He was not the right guy for that situation.
Or like Rich Hill World Series 2018.
Well, he was the right guy, but pulling away from him and going to somebody else. And that tends to be, continues to be a problem, even right now. Again, Tony Gonsolin is one of the most valuable pitchers in baseball. He's the most valuable pitcher in baseball. Wins by wins by service time this year. He's just knocking it out of the park. I understand the fans or the player service. You have people like Urias who have earned their start by putting in the work over the his career, whether it be injured or coming back or relieving, starting his weird hybrid role last year. Stripling has had his starting opportunity. He's definitely not earning it right now. He's earned a longer leash than just to give up on him now. But if in the shorter season, like if it was closer, if it was a tighter race, maybe we wouldn't be seeing Strip in there. He probably has one more bad start in him, or one more bad start before things start moving, and either Wood gets back. And Wood's another guy. He doesn't deserve a spot. He does not make your team better. Sure, he started one game. Give him, maybe he deserves more leash, but maybe in a normal season. I don't know if the Dodgers are willing to do what it takes. I mean, whatever. We have enough of a lead. You have more regular season. You have 30 more games left in this regular season. You can kind of stretch it out. You can play around with it a little bit, wiggle it around, blow on it, whatever you need to do. But when it comes to playoff time, put your best roster out there, because we can't we can't play around. It's not time for games anymore, bro.
Yeah, let's say right now I put you in charge of the Dodgers. Like this moment, you are in charge.
You're
of them.
DFA'd.
I am DFA'd. I've been DFA'd.
I'm not letting Dodgers Nation cover me anymore. Have you seen what those guys do?
What are the first moves that you make? In order of most important to least important for you. What are the first moves that you're making?
Putting me on the spot.
I'm definitely putting you on the spot. You can ask me to repeat the question again.
Tony needs to be in that rotation. He's deserved it. He can earn it. At the very least, he needs to be at the minor or the major league level. Dennis Santana,
he's eating up innings.
He's eating up innings, but you know who else could eat up innings is Ross, and Ross can get stretched out or straightened out because he's a little bit off. Or Wood would be great, even though Wood came over. It's like, yeah, I'm a starter, right, David?
David's like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you know that's good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
But that's the first thing. That's the main thing I would do. I think honestly, that's really the main thing I would do is just make sure that Gonsolin's up and contributing to the major league team, because dude's disgusting. Like he's doing what Brusdar is doing, what we assumed that Gonsolin would be able to do in the bullpen. Now imagine adding another guy like that. Math.
Yeah, I had to follow it. Yeah.
You're not addressing any of the left-handed pitching. I mean, not the left-handed pitching, but
hitting.
Hitting against left-handed pitchers.
I would say trade Jock, but I don't know where to send him. He's hitting like a $140, $160. He's not getting it done.
Oh, really?
Do you think his value is being judged by what's going on this year? And do you think his potential is being based on what he's going to help out for this year or for next year?
Oh, sorry. After I win the World Series, that from this title, from this position that Brooke just gave me, I'm retiring.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah. So I don't care about 2021. I want my World Series. Peace. I'm out.
The issue is that for me, I said this very early on in the season, it's not the results are killing me with Jock. It's the low effort Jock that's really driving me nuts, because you look at him and you just see the defeat. In certain instances, when he's rolling over a ball and grounding it to second base or grounding it into the shift or whatever, and kind of just puts his head down and jogs to first base and doesn't work for anything.
The hustle has been bugging
maybe
me.
A really high pop up on a sunny day that kind of just walks it to first base, and even if they had dropped it, would not have made it to first base because they would have gotten him there. That's the thing that's really killing me. Or the other day, I don't remember who was pitching. I think it was Julio, but a bloop single into short left that scored a run.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, Jock should have been there, but he let Corey go for it because he didn't want to run in and did not run in. And that kills me.
Yeah.
That really drives me nuts. And in a contract year, you're playing for a lot. You're playing for attention. You're playing for a new contract. You're probably not getting that new contract from the Dodgers, and he probably knows that to some extent. But I mean, it's not the results. The results are not what's killing me. I can live with those. I can live with Cody, trying to find it, working through it. I can live with Max trying to find it, working through it. I can live with CT going through stretches of slumps. I can live with that. But when it's no effort associated with it, that's where I'm like, all right, man, you're gonna ride the pine for 9 in this game. Like, there's no way you get into this game. It doesn't make sense. So
don't even cleat up.
Yeah, there's been a few times where I've asked Dave, like, hey, why did you bat Jock? Every single time that he's batted Jock against a left-handed pitcher, I've asked him why, because it's been like, hey, you had Jock and Matt, and then you pinch hit for Matt. Why did you pinch hit for Matt? And it's always been like a defensive alignment type of thing that he said, like, oh, Kike plays better at second base than right field. And I'm like, yeah, but you put Kike in right field the day after. So, like, what's the deal here? Like, what's happening here?
By the way, it's not Matt, it's Mad Baby.
Mad Baby. Yeah.
Mad Baby.
Baby.
That's what the closed captioning called him. Jessica Beatty confirmed Mad Baby is his name now on PGA Tour Golf, the game.
That's a good
game. It's a good game.
Unfortunately, it's bad for him that his wife now knows that he's called Mad Baby, because that's not going to play in very well to arguments. I don't think. Because...
Yeah, I thought that was Carlos Correa's name. Oh, got him.
Did you hear that?
Sorry, I got to work the mic. Big Steve on YouTube says send Jock to Colorado for Matt Kemp. That's a good trade.
I mean, that's another conversation that you can legitimately have, is that our Kike, let's just go Kike and Jock. I mean, even
like you've already slipped your way to Kike. Respect.
Even Pedro, even a little bit of Petey, like guys in their contract years that might be looking at not playing here next season. I mean, Pedro Baez, of the three, I would think is the guy most likely to get an offer from the Dodgers, which is really saying something, I think. Yeah. But you look at those guys, and obviously it's a very strange trade deadline, and the Dodgers might have the advantage in the sense of that nobody else is really looking to trade right now. There's maybe 2 or 3 teams that are already way out of it. The Angels might trade Dylan Bundy.
Yeah, there are a few sellers.
The Red Sox are going to sell their entire team.
Yeah, the buyers don't even know where to go. Yeah.
So that's the issue. It's like the Dodgers are in a strange position where, number one, they don't have to buy, but number two, they very well could sell and still be just as good, if not better. So you might look at moving to Jock Peterson, but his trade value is not great. I think Kike it offers a lot more to a team, like you said. Even a playoff contending team that is like a fringe playoff contender team with the 16-team playoff format, I think that he could offer a lot to a team like that. I think he could offer a lot to a team like the Angels.
If you find a way to move Jock, you can keep Kike, because Kike and Taylor find a way to get it done. Kike, of course, is leading the league in defensive wins above replacement, which is, like I said in an article today on our DodgersNation.com. Check it out. We're on the internet. It's an imperfect stat to say defensive wins above replacement, but if you're leading the league in it, you could boast all about that, baby. That's the way it goes.
You can run with that.
To have him and Taylor, like, being able to move people around, you want a true backup, maybe even 2 true backups at shortstop, because we know how Seager goes. Seager's maybe a week or 2 away from something where he needs to sit for 3 or 4 or 5 games, and they'll be like, hey, you're going to put him on the IL, and Doc's going to be like, no, we're probably not going to do that, and probably should have done that. Into the comments.
That's a good question. Yeah, good call.
JL Ruiz 76 is low effort Jock. Well put. Not a fan. We got a few people.
He also said Lux in a package for Bauer. I need to know your opinions on that. If we start talking about Bauer, Trevor Bauer is a big point of contention that people want him on the team for some reason. Number one, I don't really understand that.
You say Lux for Bauer?
Yeah, and that's been a conversation forever that Lux is going to go for a starting pitcher. I don't know where we need a starting pitcher. I mean, we have 34 of them or something like that, so I personally don't see it. Also, the fact that he's never really done well in playoff situations. So, I mean, if you want another Clayton Kershaw in your rotation, then absolutely, by all means, trade Gavin Lux.
He's not as far advanced as he is now in his career, that being Bauer. Right now, he is... If you're watching any of his vlogs, he's a very lonely boy because he cares only about this baseball season. He's doing everything he can to keep getting better, keep staying at his topmost of the popmost in his health. it's interesting to watch. Check it out on Momentum, and for the people who absolutely hate Trevor Bauer, I think it would do everybody a service to reinvestigate and relearn the situation, or fully learn the situation, not just from what people have said on Twitter. That's my opinion. I don't want to get into this very much, but there are different angles. Don't just read one article or this article. Don't go to Deadspin because they're going to give you the worst effing take. Do research before you cancel somebody.
I have a
thank you for coming to my Trev talk.
A Jock Peterson for Alex Verdugo straight up trade.
Yes! I am on that.
This is how I win.
I love Verdugo. It's like, if I just pretend I'm happy, it'll take away the pain.
Playing in Boston. My goodness.
Poor Doogie.
Already playing for a bad franchise, but a bad franchise without fans.